Hey, welcome back to Powered by 8 Racing YouTube channel. Today is the day we are going to lose that front end, and we are going to a carbon fiber front end. So, with that said, I got to get this done because the car is going to be gone in a week, and it's going to be gone for about a week as well. And when it comes back, it is going to look different. But I'm not going to show you it yet. You're going to have to wait and see what happens. But it's going to be exciting. Anyways, so what we got going on is this front bumper's got to go. That birch splitter's going to go. And you'll see here, this is a birch splitter. We've got some metal, some carbon fiber, some more metal. That is a really, really, really heavy nose. But what we are going to be going to is a much lighter bumper. And that is right there. This is a carbon fiber bumper. You'll see inside, it is carbon fiber. So, this obviously is not a stock bumper, and it is not a readily available bumper right now. So, as far as I understand, the history of this bumper and that mold came from Black Dog Performance or Black Dog Motors, somebody Black Dogs, right? They had this mold, something happened. I think their company went out of business that made the molds for them, and they just had no interest of remanufacturing it, which really is sad because the C5 is such a great platform, and it seems to be coming back because of the price of C5s has gone down, and more people are buying them. So I foresee the C5 market being very strong for aftermarket parts like that, like fenders, hoods, bumpers, all that stuff is stuff that we need. Nobody makes. They make it for the C6. But the C6, nobody really is buying because they're still expensive. But the C5s, I saw a C5 for $6,000. What is going on? Anyways, with that said, a company called Electron Motorsports, they bought the mold, and that's who's manufacturing this right now. So I'll put a link to their website. They have a couple other C5 parts, and you can reach out to them. They're finalizing this, and when it's ready, they're gonna manufacture it and have it for sale on their website. I just happened to get one early, which is awesome. So I got to get it on so that when I drop off the car where it's going, I don't have to worry about the bumper being done. Also, this splitter here has tunnel ramps. The birch splitter doesn't, and that's because of the oil coolers. Let's take the hood off and I'll show you what's going on there.
Powered by Ocho.
So, with the hood off, you'll see I got these brackets. These brackets are also from Electron, and what these are for is if you get rid of your headlights and you still need a cap for them, well, they sell this product so that you can take the cap off of your headlights and it bolts to this, and then you have the pop-up cover with no headlight underneath there. So very good solution if you don't want to manufacture your own brackets, and it fits perfect. I ran them for a little while, and now that I have that hood, I just use them for support for the headlight cap area to not do it. Anyways, so here's the thing I have to create a solution for. You can see here, this is the oil coolers. I've got one on each side. Now, this is the bottom of the oil cooler, and it's tilted about, 45-ish degrees. And this bar right here is connected to the radiator support. That bar touches the splitter, which means that I can't run a ramp with that splitter being there. The idea is going to be to cut this off here and here, move it over, and then tilt it more horizontal, and then run ducting to it to get airflow. So what I have to do is start cutting, moving, stuff like that. Probably gonna have to get a new hose and things like that. But as you can see, it's gonna be a project to get done. But the performance gain in doing this should be exponential. So it's gonna be totally worth doing. And yeah, let's tear off this bumper. Let's tear off that splitter. Let's open up the guts of this car, and let's get to fabricating something for it. Once I get this off, I'm going to throw it on the scales. We're going to see how much nose weight we're going to save by getting rid of this stock bumper and putting the carbon fiber bumper on. And yeah, let's do that, and let's get going. Alright, so I went ahead and threw the scales on there. As you can see, it is 0 pounds. This isn't for corner balancing, it's just to get an idea of what our nose weight is. Obviously not going to be perfect. I got to do the jack in the back. So without me in the car, obviously, we are at 31.18. Alright, so that's going to be the weight we use. We're not going to mess with anything except for the nose, which means that the nose of the car is 1,487 pounds roughly, and we're gonna weigh that all by itself as well. But let's just keep that number. So 1,487. So in the past, some have asked, how is this splitter attached? And you'll see here, I've got holes right here. I've got 8 holes, 4 over there, 4 over here. This is where the radiator support is made out of square tubing, but as you can see, this is one big flat piece. No ramps here, and that's what we want to achieve, is the ability to have ramps and also have a carbon fiber splitter. So with that said, let me go ahead and pop those off. We'll get that splitter off, then we'll take the bumper off and we will reweigh it, and we'll also weigh the bumper by itself with the splitter. Alright, so with just the splitter off, we have saved ourselves, well, that was 87, so that was almost 30 pounds. 29 pounds, I think that's what that was 1487. If it wasn't, then I'll correct it, but I think that it was, and if it was, that's 29 pounds just in the splitter. Alright, let's get the bumper off. Alright, I don't know what happened with the time lapse, but you missed me fighting the bumper to get it off. It is off. Now let's see what our scales are saying now. We are at 1435. That was 87, so that puts us at 52 pounds. 52 pounds off of the nose. Let's just, for science, let's just rest the bumper on here. I don't know what it weighs. I didn't put it on its own scale, but let's just do that and see. If it's any indication of how heavy or light this is, I'm literally carrying this with one hand and I can articulate it with my wrist. So, we are at 1435. Let's just rest this here. We won't put the splitter on yet. We were at 1435. Now, we are at 1444. So that means that is what? 9 pounds? 9 pounds is what this is saying. Alright, let's go to the splitter. So I'm going to carry this with me. 1444. We'll just rest this on the engine bay. This is a scientific method of weighing stuff, is just to throw it on the car. So that splitter is another 8 pounds, 9 pounds. It keeps fluctuating, 8 to 9 pounds. So we have now lost 35 pounds off the nose of the car with that. Add another 5 for hardware, so we've probably lost 30 pounds. Yeah, 30 pounds. That's going to be significant. So if we go back to our corner, we are at a 50.6, but let's do this. Oops. Our total weight for the rear now is 53% rear weight, 47 front weight. That is awesome. I want as much rear weight as I can. I like the way the car handles with a lot of rear weight, so this is about 1% more than I've ever had, but I'd have to go back and look at my records to see exactly what the heaviest I've had in the back is, because, oops, 3, right now that rear weight is 1,640 pounds. Oh, there we go, 53.02. Anyways, that is good. Well, let me go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and weigh this stuff just to make sure that we are really scientific here. I'm going to raise the car, let me grab a scale pad, and we'll go from there. Alright, so, here we go. We've got a scale. Let's get this out of the way. Scale. We are 0 pounds. Let's take this guy. That's showing 42 pounds for all of that. I think it's off, but so let's just call it 42 pounds. I think we were saying we lost 30-something pounds, right? So that would mean this has to be, well, we already know the bumper's a little bit heavier than that, so we'll screw this off. Now this splitter is temporary, so that splitter is 10 pounds, and the bumper we think was what, 5 pounds? 15 pounds? So we're back to 20 something, but nonetheless, we'll see what the total weight is when we're done with everything. Then that's showing us that we are at 19. So 19 minus 42 is 23. So that's saying 23. On the car said it was 35. Whatever it is, it's definitely lighter and gonna make a huge difference. So let's get that guy mounted up. Now with everything out of the way, I'm going to fit this up. Let's just see how it is going to fit up. Looks like we're going to have to modify some stuff underneath. Alright, so that fits up quite nicely, really. So these will fit up. These fit up right where they need to be. There's already some mold holes there, so you kind of get an idea where it needs to be. Same with the bumper. This will fit up right in here, and we will get that covered up. And let's just see now where we are. Let's get it in the air so we can see underneath, and then we can see exactly where everything's landing. All right. Alright, so right away we see that this is going to fit in here pretty well. This is because of, it's not stopping there. It is not necessarily hitting there yet, so that's good. And oh, that's hitting a little bit there, so that's stopping it from falling back. So we know this piece right here is what's stopping this from coming all the way back. Now the one thing that I wasn't sure about, and I don't think it's very helpful, is that I was hoping this lip dropped the bumper, but it doesn't look like it's going to. So to space this down, we're going to have to figure something out. Let me spend some time thinking about it. Let me grab a level. I'm going to throw it across here just to see exactly where this is falling.
2 hours later.
Alright, so what's going to happen is this here, this side here is hitting, so that's going to have to be addressed. This will fit down in here, and then This side will also have to be addressed with the ducting that I have, because the ducting I have is a little bit offset to the right. But that's fine. That's stuff we can achieve very easily. We can fix this up so it fits right in without any problems. With that said, the couple things that I'm gonna need to figure out now is I was hoping that this was gonna be lower, and it's not. Not their fault. It was just, you know, something I was hoping for. But I'm going to need to fix this, I suppose, before I can see exactly how it's going to lay, because it's blocking it from laying flat. Let me grab a level. So it is about 2 inches. It looks like about 2 inches drop. So, you know what I should have done was taken a measurement of the other splitter, but I didn't. So here we are. How do I want to notch this now? All right, so what you'll see here is this is where my ducting starts, and you can see that because my ducting is off to the right, I have this gap here I'm going to have to address, and then because of that, obviously this is also to the left, and I have to address this. But right now what's happening is this piece is hitting the top of this opening, so I can't get this to sit back right. And obviously that's going to be the same for this bottom piece, and I have to decide if this is going to go inside or if it is going to go outside. So those are a couple of the things that I need to address. I'm going to have to think it through. I'm kind of inclined, I'm going to just kind of talk, and I'm kind of inclined to put this on the outside underneath it. But I don't know if that's going to be feasible once all this gets done, because I was really hoping not to have to take the radiator off, but I think I might have to. So, all right, let me just think for a little bit. And oh, so while we're down here, so you can see here's the oil coolers. So the oil cooler comes off of this square tube, and that square tube up there. This is obviously going to have to be cut. That's going to have to be cut. I'm going to twist it out so it's horizontal. Then I will cut this out, and then I am going to duct this straight to here, and that will get me the airflow to my oil coolers, and hopefully that will help tremendously with any cooling problems that I may face. So, all right, let me get going on that, and once I figure out what I'm gonna do, I'll show you. All right, so after giving it a lot of thought, because I want this to be able to come on and off with the splitter, that means I think this is the most important thing that needs to fit properly. Everything else I can fit to it. I don't want to have to shave it here, shave it there to make it fit. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the radiator and the ducting for the radiator. That way I am able to get this to mount properly, and then I can see exactly what needs to be modified. And I think that's the best way forward for me. And if I don't do it that way, I think that I will be hindering myself, because I'm going to keep trimming and fit and trimming and fit and trimming and fit versus just fitting and then making the metal fit the carbon. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and take this off, just like this. Oh, look at that. It's so light. And then from there, we can start to, I'm going to drain the radiator, then I can take it off, take it out, and start taking all of the ducting out. It should be pretty easy to do once we get the coolant out of the radiator. So that's what I'm going to do now. And all right, let me just show you the ducting. So you can see the radiator lays there. Air comes in here, comes out over the hood, and that's part of the piece that you get with the G-Speed kit. So let me take out these little Allens and along the bottom, along here, along the sides, and this whole piece will come out. And then we can put the bumper on, figure out where we are with everything. Alright, what I'm going to do, put this back on. That'll help hold the bumper on while we mess with stuff. Alright, let me catch you up where we are here. I got I took the radiator support off. I cut off the brackets that were holding the old oil coolers. That way I can put the bumper back up. I can put the splitter on there and see how high up the splitter ramps are going to go. Then I can start adjusting and figuring out how I'm going to and where I'm going to mount the oil coolers. I'm hoping to keep it here. Probably have to come forward just because as our angle changes up, it's going to get longer this way. So I only have a limited space here, but I have a lot of space here into the bumper. So I'm thinking it's going to probably end up somewhere around here, and then wherever it ends up here, we'll just have to maybe add some, maybe an L bracket there, and something to weld to, but we'll figure it out once we get to that step. But for now, I'm going to get the bumper on, hold the splitter up just to get an idea of where this is going to be, and then we will decide what our next steps are going to be. Alright, so I think this is a pretty good spot to wrap things up. I've got everything kind of mocked up, everything's where it's going to be. And this is absolutely a couple inches lower now, which is good because we were trying to get it lower to the ground. But as you can see off of that bar there, there's a space, which means that we are that much lower from the cradle to the ground. And before we were on that, so we are absolutely lower. Now, the only thing that I'm noticing is, and it could just, this seems to be pitched upward like this and not downward, but that's, I'll have to figure that out as we go. But anyways, I think that is a good spot to stop. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this tomorrow, and this will be a multi-part series. I've got to weld up those oil cooler brackets, and then I've got to weld up some rods and all that good stuff. So we still have a lot of work to do and a lot of brain cells to process before we are done. So anyways, thanks for watching. We will catch you guys later.